1400 exactly, good luck. So we've not played before, no head-to-head score. What's the new account again? 460 games, that's plenty enough to establish a rating. Ooh, okay, this is a troll account, so he wants to take the pawn. Okay, we should be good here. How do we want to develop? I was going to play bishop up and takes. It's just a troll, this. Okay, let's play pawn up and takes. Let's play bishop up and takes. Yeah. It's unusual to play a move like that and then not actually just go for that silly sacrifice. So we could take, but I think I'll just castle. I'm just looking at development moves. Pawn up, knight across. We could just take the knight and break the pawn structure up. Let's just see how he chooses to play this. We could go c3 as well and try and move the queen along this side. He's gone back over. I assumed at the start he was just doing one of them troll games, but maybe not. Let's just push the pawn up. It gives our opponent a chance to make a mistake, and that's what he's done. So we can actually take here and hit the rook. Probably best to just move your knight and get the exchange. So that's what he's done there. So we can take and take this pawn. Is there anything better? I don't see it. I've just got to pay attention to attacks here. The queen is here, so queen up could be a move for us. We can go after this pawn with knight across and then bring the knight to a natural square. It's more about just paying attention here that we don't blunder something silly. Yeah, so he played knight 4, but that's actually under attack already, so it's just a blunder. Okay, queen up. So he hits the pawn. We can just drop the bishop back. Then, can we play knight up actually? Can we drop the bishop back? Maybe here, then knight up. Let's go here. It gives us the option to play knight up. If he takes, he's got a pawn we can sack if we need to. If pawn down, just bring the knight across. We guard the bishop. We're easily guarding the pawn. Just click my little heater back on there. It just turned itself off. So what's he done? Attack the queen. So queen back here threatening a check should be good. He's got a dark squared bishop. If we go here, we stop the bishop coming up. But here, we just create that immediate back rank threat. So I like it on the light square here, just threatening a check. Bishop up, we can just check. Bishop here, we can check. And if you block, then it's checkmate. So not easy for black. I say pawn down, we can jump the knight across very easily. So that's what he's gone for. We can actually check here. So it's going to be checkmate in a couple of moves. Okay, so he plays king up, so we can obviously take the rook. Is there any actual checkmate? I don't see it. So I'll just take the rook. That was the only way it could really survive. So knight takes pawn as a threat. Pawn down, still knight across, and then the pawn's not really going anywhere. Obviously, we hit the pawn here, we can bring the queen right back. So he's found that move. So just play knight across. We've got the rooks and the knight all covering the back square. We could just obviously sack the bishop for the pawn to get rid of the pawn and make certain that it's done. It could be sensible to do that. If you're in doubt, just do it. If you're in doubt and you're not sure, you know, because you up a lot of material, it's worth the risk. But I think here we just take. We could take here and attack the knight as well. What's his idea? Knight in, takes, pawn takes, then take. Yeah, I'll just take the pawn just to pressure the knight. If knight down, I'll most likely take. Pawn takes, and then you could play bishop takes as well. So if you're in any doubt whatsoever here and you're trying to figure position out, oh, he's gone with the queen, not the pawn, then just take, just give it up. So if I play a move like rook across here though, what's he got? He's got bishop down and we can just take. So rook across is probably the more principled move. He can just take here and we can take. Same rook across as well. This rook across might be a move. If bishop down, we're okay to take, but I'm also looking at queen back as well to go after the king. That's probably the most principal move, rook across. Bishop down, rook takes, bishop down. It could get slightly mucky, couldn't it? Could get very, very slightly messy. So I'm just going to take the pawn and get rid of it. Let's not take any risks whatsoever, just get rid of the pawn. So we can take another pawn, we can drop the queen back. We can activate a rook here, but I think it's nice just to take another pawn there. Obviously we're up 2 rooks, so no point taking any risks whatsoever here. There's another pawn. We just need to find a way to get the queen off, and then it takes all of that last little bit of risk out. So we can check here, you've got to move, take, we wouldn't want to do that. We can take another pawn, so let's do that. If the bishop comes in, we can actually check and force the queen off the board. That's what he's done. So now we really do take that final risk out, and we take back with a check, and then we can move the rook. Or he can move his king, and we'll just take the queen, of course. Either way, the queen's off the board. But yeah, when you're up a lot of material, just try and simplify the game and remove what little bit of risk there is if you can do. So just get the rook on a light square, put this rook on a light square, run the pawn up the board, run this pawn up the board. Just play simple basic chess if you can. You could throw a check in. Yeah, opponent's had enough. I'll just check it with the engine, just because I check all of the games with the engine, but it's a relatively comfortable game here. So these figures obviously could be a bit misleading. There could be a bit up, there could be a bit down. Let's just see. It was obviously a straightforward game, but yeah, at the very start, I assumed it was just opponent trolling, throwing the knight forward there. Yeah, we played it very well, 99% versus 86%, but it was about as basic a game as it gets. When you've got a big rating gap and it goes with the rating, it's about as basic as it gets. So them figures a bit misleading, but you can see opponent still 86% accuracy and just the one blunder. And the one blunder. So let's just go back. So the blunder here is d takes. So yeah, but I assumed when he played forward immediately, he was just looking at one of these silly sacrifices. So it's just a case of developing and dealing with it, but he didn't actually do that. So you can see here we're a bit better already, just about +1. Then the blunder comes here, simply taking a pawn, moved a bit quick, didn't he? We took 3 seconds, but he just moved a bit quick, didn't spot the diagonal. And from there on, it's just a case of converting without messing up. Just simple logical development moves. Give up the bishop there to get rid of the pawn. It takes away that little bit of risk just in case something horrible goes wrong. And then we see a chance here to force the queen off the board, and that's it. So it was really not much more than an opening, was it? And the game's gone with the rating. We see still very good accuracy by our opponent. You know, a couple of mistakes. Other than that, just found a lot of good moves, albeit from a losing position.